followed by a film that is not as good as City of the Living Dead, to put it mildly, which is a film called Burial Ground. Now, this is Burial Ground, also known as Nights of Terror, or indeed, in some places, it's called Burial Ground : Nights of Terror. It's also known as The Zombie Dead, and it's also known as Zombie Free, because what they try to do is, this is one of the several films that they try to market in places as a sequel to Zombie Flesh Eaters. And this is directed by Andrea Bianchi. His most famous film is either this or a giallo called Strip Nude for Your Killer, which does not feature incest, but still features some, let's just say, sleazy kind of outre elements that don't really appear in any other films. I'll just say that. And this came out the year after, so in 1981. And Ria, what is the synopsis of Burial Ground? Because there's not really a lot of plot in this film, I'll say that much.
Well, the synopsis, according to IMDb, is an archaeology professor discovers an ancient crypt containing living dead corpses. The zombies go on a rampage and attack a group of people whom the professor has invited to celebrate his discovery. I mean, but also this could just be three couples being saucy and being attacked by zombies, with an element of incest thrown in there.
Yeah.
Good measure.
Yeah. So before we continue, I've sold this to Ria for a while, as there's something about this film that I don't want to spoil to you, but yeah, it's pretty unique and wild, which, as we've already mentioned, is incest.
Oh my God. Well,
so, to give context, for those who have not seen this film, so there's three couples, one of them has a child, and I'll put child in inverted commas, because he is played by an actor called Pietro Barzacchini, who his English pseudonym is Peter Bark, who was 25 when they made this film. And he is, if you're still allowed to use this term, a little person. So he's not an actual child. And I believe the reason that they've done that is because there is a lot of very creepy incest-related stuff in this film that you would not be able to get away with an actual child.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so I wrote down here before I looked up his actual age, adult in child's body, question mark. But yeah, it's like there's this noise when he has a shocked face and he sort of, I don't know, gets curious about his mother. He keeps calling her Mama. And he basically wants his mum, and he tries to walk in on them doing the deed with his dad.
Yeah.
But, it's weird.
There's a hilarious zoom on his face. Like, he's in bed and he's very creepy looking. I don't mean that in a horrible way. It's just just because of what happens in the film. It's just, very kind of ominous. And yes, he tries to walk in on it's his mum, definitely.
Yeah.
And probably his dad. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
The film doesn't make any attempt to kind of explain if that's his dad, if it's just who his mum is with, because it could be that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Film doesn't care, so why should I?
Yeah. It's
and
not
then,
explained, basically.
Yeah, which is a bit creepy. And then a bit later on, about halfway into the film, there's actual kind of groping.
Yeah. That's well, I mean, this sound effect, so the sound effects are like quite weird. It's like
love sound effects,
like electronic spaceship sort of sound effects, like a theremin. You know, like what a theremin sounds like.
Yeah,
like
that's what it sounds like, does it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Right.
So I mean, it's sort of giving like electronic sort of spaceship kind of vibes, but that's what they use throughout this movie, especially for his shock moments.
Yeah,
but anything dark that's happening, basically.
And all this, like, we are spoiling the film anyway, but to jump ahead to near the end of the film, this obviously ties into how his mum dies, because Michael, who is this character, gets turned into a zombie. Absolutely hilarious scene, which we'll come to in a sec where that happens. But yeah, he then comes back as a zombie right near the end of the film, and he bites his mum on the tits.
Yeah, which has been kind of built up to before, because he said that he wants to
suck from your breast.
Yeah, it's rather gross. He wants to do that like when he was little and to feel close to her, but it's all very sexualized and it's all very gross. She's called Evelyn, his mum, and he's got this really bad bowl haircut. Just cannot take seriously. But yeah, he does. He's got the face of an adult.
Yeah, well, he's an adult. That'd be why.
Yeah, it's quite creepy. So yeah.
Yeah, what did you think? Because I say you would have had no idea that this is a thing.
So I actually, when I watched it, I realised I have watched this before. Right. I remembered, but it's been a long time. So
left that little impression on you.
Yeah, when it got to that part, I was like, oh. I mean, I read somewhere that this director has done something else similar in one of his other movies, but I can't say that I've seen his other movies, so I don't know. But I mean, I thought that the zombie faces, the skulls, it's possible that they either cast it from real skulls or that they've used elements of real skulls and teeth in there, because it does look very realistic and quite scary. And I thought that was pretty cool. And then there's like, at any one point, there's probably like maximum on screen, like 13 zombies. They're like slow shuffling zombies in like robes made of sack. And you can picture it. And just one random zombie just doesn't really have the same mask that they have, which looks like a real skull that's like deteriorating. He's just got paint on his face, which was really random.
Yeah.
But on the whole, the makeup effects are not like, they're quite endearing in a way. They're quite like, they've got like a lot of maggots, which are quite effective that they use on the face. And I quite liked that sort of DIY sort of like effect. I thought it was pretty cool.
Some of them look okay. I got to be honest, in hindsight, I'm kind of more reminded of Troll 2, just because of the sacks, really more than anything else. They just look like they're just wearing sack costumes. And unlike kind of other zombie films, the one we just talked about, for example, you can tell they're wearing masks because their mouths don't move.
Yeah.
So literally, it's just a bunch of people, probably extras, wearing these sackcloths, wearing these, masks that have got makeup on them, probably so that they don't have to keep putting makeup on the different actors' faces all the time. So they can just put this mask on and that's it. They're ready to shoot.
Yeah.
And that is okay. But yeah, some of them look better than others also. And this is just a me thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh about this, but in other films, like the one we just talked about, we don't see the actual zombies until halfway into the film. And when you do see the zombies, it's dark.
Yeah.
Whereas with these zombies, you see them literally 5 minutes into the film and it's bright outside.
Yes.
And they just throughout the film are these zombies. So after a while, you're just kind of like, okay, it's more zombies.
Yeah, you just sort of get used to it. It's like 3 hours. Some quite effective like growling noises. There's some worms.
Yeah, there's maggots and worms. Yeah.
There's a few cool stunts. There's like more fire. And she throws that green paint to set some of them on fire.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be like fuel or, something to set them alight, but it just looks like green paint. There's a really cool bit where they sort of climb the building, because you don't really expect that. And they sort of climb up and they get in. And one of them also has a scythe, which I thought was pretty cool. Pretty cool. And they also just use other weapons as well.
Yeah, so that was one of the things I wanted to talk about with this film. So you get zombie films that are pretty straight. So Zombies Flesh Eaters, as I mentioned, it's a pretty straight zombie film. They're just undead people. They bite you and that's it. They don't seem to do anything weird. Nightmare City, they're not really zombies. They're infected people, and they can fire machine guns, and they can run, and they can do all kinds of stuff. City of the Living Dead, the zombies can teleport.
Yeah.
These zombies, they're Etruscan zombies. So it's mentioned somewhere 15 minutes into the film that this is some Etruscan villa, and they've excavated there. So, like Marks and Spencer's. These aren't just any zombies, these are Etruscan zombies.
I didn't know where you were going with that then. That's funny. Okay.
Wow. So, unlike normal zombies, like an Etruscan zombie can climb things. An Etruscan zombie can use a battering ram.
Wow. I mean, yeah, that was pretty impressive, but I've actually got written as my letterbox review here. This is the first time I've seen zombies use a table saw.
Yes, they can use a table saw. They can throw a knife from several meters away and hit someone on the hand.
Yeah.
They can decapitate someone with a scythe.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
The floor below.
There was also like a really cool camera shot where the maid gets decapitated and the zombies are eating her head down below, but you can't tell from behind. I think it's James comes up and he finds the maid, which is called Catherine, and he finds her by the window. She's leaning over, but you can't tell that her head's not there. And it's sort of like the camera angle is like coming up from the wound of the neck to him, like in shock of what he sees. And I thought that was really awesome. And he throws the rest of her over the balcony so they can just eat her to like get rid of the zombies to stop them from climbing up. And they've got this they squirt this brown blood, I think. It's weird.
The makeup, well, not the makeup effects, but like the gore effects are, once again, they're done by Gino De Rossi. So there's a lot of people who get killed by basically just having their guts ripped open and eaten and stuff, like Day of the Dead, for example. Yeah. So there's a lot of that, and that looks pretty good. I wasn't a fan of like people getting shot in the head, because those effects, what they've done is they've inserted them in, but normally it's a quick cut, so you can't really see that it's an effect, but you can clearly see this is like an effect, and they've just crowbarred it in, spliced it in.
Yeah.
So it just looked a bit naff to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've got here that the head explosions are like pretty cool, but yeah, it's a little bit of a cop out, isn't it? It's just like shooting them all. It's the same thing again and again, more head explosions.
Yeah. So I saw in your letterbox that you gave this 2 out of 5. So I take it you didn't really like this film very much.
I mean, it's okay in terms of watching it to sort of watch a good spread of these type of movies. Quite enjoy, sort of seeing different ones. I think the character of Janet was irritating as hell.
She's the blonde lady.
Oh, yeah. She's just like a whiny little bitch. So melodramatic. She sounded like all the way through, like when she got her foot trapped in a bear trap.
It's a bear trap, yeah.
But then the actual special effects makeup, the practical effects on the leg were not good because it just looks like a red bruise.
Yeah.
And that would have been like her ankle would have been just like hacked up. So then she's like, obviously acting like she's the worst one off, but I'm pretty sure that Evelyn had been like shot or something had happened to her that was like kind of worse. Like she'd also lost her son, Michael, that she was devastated, and she'd also lost her husband.
Which she wasn't that fussed about, in fairness, compared to Michael.
Yeah, she was devastated over Michael.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, Janet just sounds constantly like she's making like orgasm noises.
Yeah.
She's just like so devastated about the ankle, but there's like definitely more serious things going on. She can't really like be the center of attention.
Yeah, this is one of these films, unfortunately, where you'll have characters where they're being chased by a zombie, but they're dead and they're slow. Yeah. So they have to find reasons for them not to just walk away briskly and just get away. Yeah. So I think that's why the bear trap is just randomly there for no reason.
For sure.
And then it's like, oh no, I am hurt myself. I am trapped. Just like you said, just screaming for minutes at a time while these zombies very slowly walk towards her. And I'm like, oh my God. It's meant to be like tense, but it's just a bit tedious.
Yeah. I mean, I found it, amusing more than like taking it seriously, especially because of like the zombies using table saw and different weapons. And it was kind of made me laugh. There was a typo right at the end as well.
Okay, yeah, sure. So, we'll get onto that in a second. So, I have mixed feelings about this film. So, the characters are given no characteristics whatsoever. Literally, you've got a professor with his big beard.
Yeah, very impressive beard.
He dies in the first 5 minutes, and then he comes back later as a zombie.
Yeah.
And then you've got these 3 couples who really are not given any character whatsoever. They're just randy.
They're just there to be randy and just show some flesh, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've got the couple with Michael, and then you've got the two characters who end up living to the end of the film, like you've got the blonde woman who's like, I have a bad feeling about this, which is a bit annoying, and you've got the other couple who literally are just randy and that's it, and then the woman dies, and then her husband just shoots zombies in the head and they run out of bullets, and I was like, oh well, I guess that's it then, and then they just swiftly move on. I was just mostly bored for the first hour of this film just because it's not very well made. Like, it's not shot very well, it's badly edited, the score is atrociously bad in this film.
There's some quite funky jazz at the beginning, which made me laugh.
There really is. It sounds 60s.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this doing in a film in like 1981? This score that should have appeared in like a Mario Bava, like Giallo from like the 60s. Like, it's just bizarre. And like when it's tense, it's da 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 da, just that for minutes at a time just got very annoying.
I couldn't really take it seriously, and I think the thing with Michael and his mum, it just really grossed me out, not in a good way. Like, I just felt like it was distasteful.
Very distasteful.
Not needed, and there's not a lot of plot there, so it does get quite boring. But I mean, I found it amusing. Like, you can't take it seriously, but it is a laugh in places.
Yeah, like, what I will say, weirdly, after Michael dies, the film actually does kind of pick up. So his mum, Evelyn, like you said, she goes absolutely mental. She has a proper nervous breakdown, which is hilarious. And one of the other women who's turned into a zombie, who's now killed Michael and cut his leg off somehow. Or was it his arm? Because he was walking fine later on.
I think it was his arm, actually.
That would make more sense. And like, she's just munching away on this arm, and then Evelyn bashes this woman zombie's head against the bath, which is hilarious because she just looks proper manic while she's doing it.
I quite like that bit.
That bit is fine. And then our man Dean Miller from Nightmare City, he's the only guy who has the right idea with these zombie outbreaks. Because you just want to keep on the move. Everyone else in zombie films, what they'll do is they'll go, oh, just hole up here
and wait,
not thinking like, what happens when the zombies come in?
Because they're slow as shit, but they're coming for you, you know.
So eventually they like get out, and this is when I think the film got better. Like, it's not amazing, but it was a dramatic improvement from this point, because they then go to the monastery, and you've got the monks who are now zombies as well. And you can tell it's now, this is not going to end well. You can tell it's very downbeat and mean-spirited.
They're in a quote-unquote model factory at the end, which is really weird. Like, who has one of those? I mean, it's got these quite quirky locations in it that have obviously just been put in there because it's a cool place to
they were
shoot.
just there. I don't think they were chosen specifically for any reason other than like, oh, well, there's this, I don't know if it's an artist studio. It could be that, or like some carpentry studio, because they've got the bandsaw and all this type of stuff. Now, those locations actually I thought worked quite well. That's one of the things I will say in positive, is that, you got the villa, that looks quite nice. I mean, just the location looked nice. The monastery looked, like the kind of place that would have zombies.
I thought it was pretty cool that they had all those zombie monks where you couldn't see it first, and then they lift up their heads so you can see under their hoods a bit more, and like, obviously, you're just expecting it to be all zombies, and that was pretty cool sort of like image of like having these zombie monks peering out from under their brown hoods.
And then you do get the scene at the end, which is where the film ends, and I did a thing that I don't normally do, where I was actually shouting at the screen. It's like, because they hold themselves up, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're basically asking for trouble at this point. Because they block the door. I'm like, no, the zombies are just going to get in.
Oh, it's grim. I mean, I've got a note down here that everybody dies. Like, nobody survives. So quite a mean-spirited ending.
And then like Evelyn gets bitten, and like, they don't literally die, but it kind of, the film ends just as they're about to die, basically.
That they're going to die.
So it's a grim ending, and I think that kind of works quite well. I think, considering, I said, like the last 20 minutes, I think, on the whole, kind of saved the film because I was not having a good time with this.
Aside from the part where Michael bites his mum's boob, just gross. Not needed.
Yeah, which another breast eating. So we've been talking about zombies, biting women on the breasts or ripping the breasts off with their hands and stuff. Is the most extreme example of that.
Yeah, we've had it a lot in the last few films. I also think there was J&B in this.
Yes, there was. In the first 15 minutes, there's some J&B. I did make a note of that.
Tick that one off the list.
Yeah. Evelyn getting killed is her own fault, basically. She just lost her mind, basically.
I think that was the best part of the movie, actually. Quite like that.
With the J&B.
No, the female rage.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, that was the best part by far. Yeah,
because she had a motivation for it. Is why I liked it.
Yeah. Other than the part that Ria has already mentioned, which is right at the end, I think similar to the Beyond. I think what they've tried to do, or Bianchi anyway, has tried to basically give this some kind of like gravitas, which is hilarious. I'll read what it says. So it says, "The earth shall tremble, graves shall open, there shall come among the living as messengers of death, and there shall be the nigs of terror," because they spelled nights wrong. So it's nigs of terror, prophecy, which they've also spelt wrong.
Yeah, two typos.
Of the black spider. Now, the prophecy of the black spider is not a real thing.
Yeah,
so
I noticed there were two typos. I was like, oh my God.
So bad. Like, not one typo is bad enough, but two typos.
Yeah. Prophecy spelled with an F, in case you were wondering. Stupid. So once again, like, we've watched this, so you guys don't have to. If you only want to listen,
need to watch this.
You could just listen to this summary and that's it. But if you want to watch it, it's quite a good laugh in places.
Yeah, and look, the only reason people talk about this is Peter Bark. Pretty much. Yeah. Like, it's not really known for any other reason. So it makes me think that Andrea Bianchi is a very twisted man.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, look, Strict Nude for Your Killer, it's not got incest in it, but it does have, like, some, let's just say, questionable content. So, yeah, he's kind of like a bit of a poor man's Joe D'Amato, I think, or even a poor man's Lucio Fulci, because there's two bits in this film that are clearly ripped off straight from Zombie Flesh Eaters. Because you've got a zombie coming out of the ground, except the zombie looks shit. So it doesn't have the same impact. And yeah, one of the women, the woman who ended up killing Michael, I think it's meant to be kind of similar to the Splinter death from Zombie Flesh Eaters, but it's done way for a window, and it's just a bit shit. But yeah, so it's just, I don't know, there's gore in it, and the gore is okay, it's pretty good. If if you like films with weird content, fucked up content, and gore, no plot whatsoever. If you do not care about characters, other than a couple of women get naked at one point at the start of the film, yeah, by all means watch this. But yeah, it's wasn't my favourite. I will just say that much, to be charitable.
Same.
But if you do want to watch it. That being said, so this one, not available on streaming in the UK. If you want to watch it in America on streaming, you have a plethora of choices, including Tubi, my favourite, Plex, Foursome and Hoopla, where you can watch them for free, probably got ads in them. If you want to watch it on subscription, you've got Screenbox, Arrow, Crunchyroll, Eternal Family, whatever that is, and Ria's favourite, Troma Now. So the Troma streaming service, so apparently it's on there. If you want to own it on physical media, I don't have this one, but anyway, if you do, you can buy it in this country from 88 Films.
Yeah.
And you can buy it in America from Severin, but they're both region free. So really, anywhere you are in the world, you want to own it, that's what you would do. Just buy it from there.
And FYI, I counted the bodies and it was just 24, so not quite as many as City of the Living Dead.
And this probably would have been a video nasty. Don't know why it wasn't a video nasty, in fairness, just for the incest content.
I would have said it should have been a section 2.
So yeah, I don't know why it wasn't, in fairness. Maybe it missed the whole furore of the video nasties. Maybe the BBFC never saw it. Maybe they weren't paying attention. Or I don't know, they got bored, so they just stopped taking notes. I don't know. It's just a bit of a weird one.
Slip through the net, that one.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter because you can just buy it and it's all uncut and everything. So yeah.